Good morning, beloveds. I'm not entirely sure I'm awake, and I've been up for several hours, but, it is what it is, right? Okay. We're supposed to have thunderstorms again today, but it was a nice ride. It's a nice ride. Oh, okay. All right. My allergies have been some kind of crazy lately. So, we have another one-word title. They always make me a little nervous, the one-word titles, but, here we are. Okay, so, June 8th, our title is Success. Our author is Julia Seton Sears. It is from The Science of Success from 1914. And it looks like a poem, so let's get on with this. Let those who will believe the old world law that people were born to suffer length on length. It is a lie. The God within us speaks. We lift our thoughts and feel a newborn strength. Our human life is part of a great whole. All life was given to use for truth and right. Each person may claim the freedom of their soul. There is no good word. She's using the word king. I'm like, monarch? Okay, let's go with that. They are a monarch and rule with power and might. We are the lords of this lower world. We make the laws by which our life has might. And as the thoughts of freedom forth are hurled, we build a world of peace and truth and right. O person, a kingdom is within your soul. A monarch is enthroned with scepter in their hand. Why slumber in grief and tears untold? Awake, God calls you. Rise and understand. Well, yeah, poem. I do make a dedicated effort to gender neutral things for a variety of reasons. One, I like to be inclusive. And two, I am a woman and I get tired of saying man all the time. So, and every now and again I'll get caught up short. It's like, okay, how do I do this? So I had to stop and think about that for a minute. But the point of the poem is, you know what? You're asleep at the wheel. You're asleep at the wheel. Good morning, David. You're commenting his creative life. The point of the poem is that we're asleep at the wheel. Okay, so what do we do about that? It behooves us to pay attention. She reminds us, because it's a direct quote from Jesus, the kingdom of God is within you. So to pay attention to what is going on around us as well as what is going on within us. Let those who will believe in the old world laws that we were born to suffer. And she says, no, we were not. It's a lie, because she says it right there. It's a lie. The God within us speaks. So it's up to us to make the time to listen to the still small voice. That is one of the reasons why we encourage daily spiritual practice. Be it long or short, it doesn't matter. The point is to do that regular daily spiritual practice. And then there's all kinds of different kinds of spiritual practices. But one of the things you want to bear in mind, okay, when we do treatments, we are talking to God. When we do meditations, we are listening to God. So if you are listening for that still small voice, then choose meditation. Now, I have good news for you. Meditation does not mean sitting cross-legged on a pillow staring at the wall. Okay? If that's what you think meditation is, I have good news for you. There are all kinds of different kinds of meditation. There are guided meditations. There are walking meditations. There are moving meditations. If you go and look up, I believe Tai Chi is considered a meditation. So, but Now, if sitting cross-legged on a pillow staring at the wall, focusing on your breathing is what makes you happy, then go for it. But if that just, if that doesn't make you happy as a meditation, please Google. YouTube is full of amazing meditations. All right. So the daily spiritual practices will help you to listen to that still small voice. And when you listen to the still small voice, one, you are going to be guided. And two, as you get to know that voice, and there's a couple of different voices that you can listen to. And the other one just popped right out of my head. We all know the inner critic. Don't listen to the inner critic. That's generally the loudest voice in our head. But we also have that loving voice in our head. And you might listen for that and see, because it might be a voice you know, and it might be a voice you don't know. Who's the most loving person in your life? Honestly, I still hear Ruth in my head. She's one of those guidance voices. Inner advisor. Thank you, David. Inner advisor. Ruth is one of the voices that the inner advisor will use. And then the still small voice is just something completely altogether different. Now, let me remind you, how do you know the difference between the voice of God and the voice of ego? Okay, so we talked about the inner advisor and the inner critic. You know what an inner critic is. The inner advisor is always going to speak lovingly to you. That inner advisor is always going to be supportive, and generally it is a voice of somebody that you care very much about, that loved you without condition, or as few conditions as possible in the material world. Now, how do you tell the difference between the still small voice of God and the voice of ego? One, again, ego tends to be pretty loud. Now, I'm not going to make the ego bad and wrong. What I'm going to remind you of is that the ego has a job. The ego's job is to keep you safe. That's it. And that's its job to the exclusion of everybody else. So generally, when the ego is jumping up and down and screaming, the only thing the ego cares about is you. And that voice will do things to the exclusion of others. God will always care about everyone in the situation. So when you hear the still small voice speaking to you, encouraging you to do something, check yourself. Who does this benefit? Who does it hurt? If the only person that it benefits is you, but it doesn't hurt anybody, it still could be the voice of God. If the only person it benefits is you, and it harms absolutely anybody, it's probably ego. Check it. Doesn't mean you don't listen. It's just you listen and you go, all right, I hear you. I will take care of this. And generally, if you acknowledge the ego will sit down. So make it a habit to acknowledge your ego and say, I hear you. I received the information. Thank you. And it'll probably leave you alone. It's a good practice to have. Okay. So the line here, our human life is a part of the great whole. That is the point of spiritual practice, to knit ourselves into that great whole regularly so that we are aware of it. All life was given for the use of truth and right. Okay? Again, point of spiritual practice, to check ourselves. And each person may claim the freedom of their soul. All right? That is what we are not doing. We are not claiming the freedom of our soul. So, if you want a mission for today, you got this whole poem. But I'm going to lean into the mission for today is to claim the freedom of our soul. What does that mean? Well, you know what? It means a lot of things to a lot of different people. I'm going to let you figure it out, but I'm going to give you a couple of hints. What does it mean to claim the freedom of your soul? It means to let go of everything that you have been told by society, culture, religion, and figure it out for yourself. Define yourself by your own rules. All right. Let go of everything that you have been told that you are and recognize what you are. I know. It sounds like a lot. And I'm not saying it's not. But it is something that we need to do every day. Every day we need to check in with ourselves and shed what other people have been telling us that we are. Is that success? I don't know. But are you happy? That would be the question I would ask. Too often we get to the end of the day and we are just burdened by all of the things that we have been told that we should be. And it's up to us to stand up, shake that off, and be who we are. So, the mission today, claim the freedom of your soul. Claim the freedom of your soul. Be who you are, not who other people have told you you are. And sometimes we have to dig pretty deep because those layers can be pretty thick. So, just a small hint, find your tribe that can help you shed those layers. Find the tribe that is willing to look through the layers of who society has told you you are to see the real you, to see the beloved child of God that you are. All right? That is what CSL is for me. That is what Creative Life is for me. They are my tribe who can see through the layers of who I am, to see who I truly am. You know, that godling the Reverend Jesse likes to call us. All right, so that is your mission today. Honestly, same mission every day, just different words. One of these days, I'm going to get the words that set fire to your soul. Maybe several days. Okay, I also suggest, as I always do, to the spiritual practice of do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. All right, I am adamant about this. I am adamant about self-care. If we are going to claim the freedom of our soul, if we are going to dig through the layers that society, culture, and religion wants to put on us, then self-care is extraordinarily important. And it looks like as simple as taking a deep breath before we speak, especially before we speak to ourselves. Okay? I mentioned that inner critic. Okay? Sometimes you start to say something to yourself in your own head, and then you stop and you think, oh my God, did I really just say that to myself? Let me stop that. And we can go back to that inner advisor. We can go looking for that voice of love. Take that deep breath before you speak. I mean it generally when we're talking to other people, but sometimes we need to stop and think about the things that we say to ourselves. Straight up, one time I was playing a video game. I heard what I said to myself out loud, playing a video game. And I went, this is not okay. And I went into therapy and got better. So, take a deep breath before you speak. Think about what it is that you're about to say, especially to yourself. I'm talking about self-care, right? I also advocate taking a walk, taking a nap, taking some time. That spiritual practice. So, oh, that's good to know. Self-care is the theme. Yes. Big advocate of it. Okay. They're simple little things, you know, like I said, simply taking a deep breath before you speak, all the way up to taking a vacation. All right. So, I just lost track of what I was about to say, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. I'm going to remind you that one of the things that I do say is to eat dessert first. When I talk about self-care, the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do, eat dessert first. I realized that what that meant to me is don't save the good stuff. All right. Your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. Eat the good food, use the good china, use the nice glasses, wear the nice clothes. Make room for joy. No matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. It is a quality of God. It is present in your soul. Make room for it, please. All right? Eat dessert first. and then eat a healthy dinner. Or, you know, have you ever had breakfast for dessert? I mean, dessert for breakfast. Sorry, got that backwards. That. And let me remind you why I encourage the spiritual practice of love, kindness, and compassion. You are your own best test subject. All right? You get immediate feedback. Is this the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing? Now you know. 2, I want you to create a habit. I want you to create a first response. I am encouraging you to create that well-worn path to the source of your own being, to the source of infinite love, infinite kindness, infinite compassion. So on days when you need a little extra, you can get there blindfolded. And when you meet people who need a little extra, you are connected to the infinite source and have plenty to share. And 3, you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Straight up. Okay? Practice on yourself. That is why we are called practitioners. We practice on ourselves daily. Daily. All right. I also encourage you, do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you today. I encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better when it is well hydrated. I encourage you also to get early in your day bright light. We're going to have thunderstorms today. The light was a little, but I did get a good amount, and I'm talking 5-10 minutes. Early in your day, bright light. I am talking about a circadian rhythm. It starts with a C if you Google it. And that resets your hormones. All right. It will help you have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. It is science. You can look it up. So 5-10 minutes early in your day, bright light. If the sun is not out or you get up before the sun, artificial light will help. Okay. What you're looking for is that blue light. So when we're talking about people who have that seasonal affect disorder, there are special light bulbs that you can order. Look into it. It might help. Okay. Oh, and I'm at the part. Here's my Ernest Holmes quote. Open the windows of your soul. Allow your the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven. It is right here, all around us, all the time, because it's a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. That is what Julia was talking about today in her poem of success. She is reminding us that the kingdom of God is within us. The power is within us. The presence is within us. And it is up to us to do the work, to free our souls, and come into that kingdom. It is straight up a superpower. Once you learn to create that kingdom of heaven for yourself, nobody can take that away from you. Absolutely not. And once you learn to do it for yourself, you'll move through this world differently. Okay? And that's how we create a world that works for everybody. Practice, practice, practice. And as always, you can take Emma's advice, look for the good and praise it. Okay? Gratitude will get you everywhere in creating that heavenly mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Guess I'm at the social media part. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark on the social medias we are on. I am the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please feel free to take advantage of that content. There's all kinds of good stuff. If you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you onto the constant contact. And when it says click here now, it will take you right to where you want to go. I highly encourage you to click here now on the Soul Session playlists. Okay. That'll take you right to the YouTube channel, and there is great stuff on that. And we've got one coming up. So I'm super excited about that. Okay. And I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a freedom day, a successful day, I don't remember any of the other words she used in her poem day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You're enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, a godling. All right? Know the truth of your being. And don't listen to anybody else about who you are. Unless you find your tribe. And then when you forget who you are, they will sing the song of your soul back to you. Okay? And you know who your tribe is. They're the people that love you even when you're behaving badly. They may do it from over here, but okay. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.